Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Carlos, Brown Liquor and Cigars, and we got John and
What
Kendrick.
up?
You ain't gonna say nothing, Kendrick?
I'm not feeling y'all right now.
Damn. Okay. So he's not feeling us because this is take 2 of this particular episode. But we're talking about ghosts from the past.
Ain't no damn ghost. They know who they is. Ain't no ghost. Man, ain't no ghost.
Casper?
Hell, ain't no Casper. They know who they is, bro.
Okay.
Y'all know who lurking in them DMs.
Yeah, you know. So yeah, them ghosts or whatever you want to call them from the
And
past.
it ain't a ghost
exes.
because they never killed them.
Oh, true.
You can't kill a ghost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
can't kill a ghost.
They always come back. So, from the past. So, what do y'all think about people who go back to people that they've broken up with before? Like, what does that say? Okay, well, we start off. What does it say about the person? Because that was a question that we got on the podcast. Was it this week?
Yeah.
We got a question of when you finally are at peace and you get yourself together, then why does that ex always come back? So I think personally it's a loaded question, but I mean, what do y'all think about that? About an ex, about the person going back, and then also the person that's being gone back to, if that makes sense.
I think one of them may be dealing with self-rejection.
Mr. Jim. Yeah, y'all might not get to hear about that, but
Yeah, one of them dealing with self-rejection. You?
The reason I think that the person goes back is because they know that person is still on standby. They know the person is still on standby, so they go back because of that. And then also, I believe that the person go back is because if somebody is at peace, we're always attracted to the shiny things. So if you're at peace and you're much happier, you're probably glowing a little bit, which makes you a little bit attractive, more attractive. Your energy is good, so people are attracted to that too. You know, and then who knows? Maybe they realize that. Maybe they realize that you were like the best thing that they ever had, and they want to come back to it. But most times it's because the cooch is on standby.
So they just trying to hit it, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I agree. Is it trying to hit it or
so too.
self-rejection?
Yeah. I think too. Sometimes it's like a mind game. It's kind of you in this
You keep up with
self-rejection.
that self-rejection, brother.
You think I ain't?
Okay.
I got something for y'all. Come on, Carlos.
So I think that sometimes some people just like to play games, and they may not really want you back per se, but they just want to see how far they can go before you break, or to see if they still got it, if they can still get a reaction out of you. So I think sometimes that's the case too.
Yeah.
I agree with what both of y'all said. I think it's different scenarios that can happen, but but I think it could be maybe that person has gone out, tried other people, and they find out maybe genuinely no one was really as good as that ex was, and maybe they realize they lost out and they try to go back, or it could be for the sex, could be for that. And it could be, I think too, is a lot of times when you're in a longer term relationship, people try to hold you to who you used to be. So they may be going back to you because maybe 3 years ago you were this weak person and you're not that anymore. So they could be going back to test the waters to see, they used to be weak, so let me go back and see if this will fly with them.
Yeah, but it's more, I think too, it's more about the person that they're going back to. I think they have to own their place in this too.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of times we feel validated because our exes come back. We feel a sense that,
It's an ego thing,
they missed what we have to offer. So a lot of times we get tangled up in that because curiosity makes us entertain them to try to find out exactly why they're back.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you back trying to holler at me? Why are you back calling me? So we get caught up in that. And then what happens is, before we know it, before women know it in this event, before women know it, they done gave up the ass. He hits it, and he done moved on. And then you feeling that stupid.
Yeah.
Because you thought you were in control of a situation, but your curiosity caused you to lose that control.
Why is it a problem to go back? Like, why is it a problem? You know.
I mean, it's to
Well,
each
we
his
didn't
own.
ask this question.
To each.
That's what my curiosity
I don't
is
think it's.
getting me at. Like, you posed the question, but why is it a problem to go back? Like,
It may not be.
I guess in
just
that
wanna know,
though,
it depends.
I don't think it's a problem with going back. But why did you leave?
yeah.
Why did you leave? And I think it all depends on, like, how long have y'all been broken up? You know, if you've been broken up a couple of years, let's say, for instance, you've been broken up a couple of years and the two of you reunite and they come back. I can understand that a little bit more than somebody who broke up with you 2 months before.
Oh yeah, and then now.
Now you coming back.
Yeah.
So it's like, why did
time
you even break
factors.
up to come back?
Yeah.
You know?
I personally, I don't really believe in going back that much. I mean, because if you still have some type of friendship or cordial relationship there, then sometimes when you go back, you risk that. And then if you break up again, then it's a greater chance that it's going to be an ugly breakup. And, you know, why risk that? And then I think, too, once you break up and then you get back with that person, then the first time they do something wrong, usually the first thing in your mind is going to be, that's why I left you anyway. Or that's why, you know, you're going to replay the reasons why you left, and maybe unfairly. You know, maybe whatever they did is new and not even something that they've done previously when they were with you before. But because I think most people go into it with that jaded viewpoint, then it's so easy to say, oh, that's why I left you anyway in the first place, or that's
Right.
why we broke up.
And I'm not saying this about the person who wrote the question because I don't know the situation.
Yeah.
But most times when someone is concerned about someone coming back, is that you are really not over that person. You're still attached to them in some
True.
regards.
Yeah.
So now, because if you're not, they can't come back to a door that's closed. If the door is closed, it's nothing else for them to do.
Correct.
But because you are still like sweet on them, attracted to them a little bit,
Something, yeah.
that's why it gets you. That's why it's bothering you. And, you know, when we said, I know you said this is take 2 of this here, like I said in take 1, they moved on to new dick. But emotionally, they still attached to the old dick. But they moved on to new dick. So that's the only thing you moved on from.
Okay.
So, I guess my concern is
Self-rejection?
that too.
Okay.
I've dealt with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have.
Thanks, Mr. Tim.
Jim. It's Jim with a J. Shout out to you, Mr. Jim. Everybody good on shout outs.
Hey.
I want to shout you out, my brother, my 80-year-old brother. I love you, Mr. Jim. I do, man. But look, how often does this person reach out to you? You know, you're at peace, but do you entertain this person, or is there any communication there that gives whomever the green light to want to come back, to want to reach out? Because if there's a stop sign there, then a person isn't going to be, oh, I got an opportunity. That makes sense to y'all?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know. I'm curious to know that. You know, it's a phenomenal question that was posed to us, but it's a lot of other questions that I would like to know. Not to just get inside whomever. I don't know the young lady. Get inside this person's business. You know.
Yeah.
But ask your, like, there's a reason why they're reaching out to you. You know, what do you present that make them want to reach out to you? You know, are you therapeutic for that person? Are you something, maybe just something that person need that make them want to reach out to you. You know, so
You're familiar.
maybe it's a compliment.
Yes,
You're familiar.
Yeah,
That's why most times we go back.
Yeah,
it's
the
because
familiarity.
it's
Yeah.
familiar. And whatever we left it for, whatever new thing we left it for, either the new thing proved not to be as good as we thought it was going to be, or it proved to be sour. So we always resort back
To what's comfortable.
what's comfortable. And it may not even be that was something good.
Yeah.
There may not even be something that was good. But just like we talk about women can't be single, there are men that can't be single. So if they left and they go try to find something new that don't work out, they resort right back to what they left because they know when they go back, they're going to open the door and welcome them in. They're going to give a little pushback in the beginning, but they already know you're going to let me in.
So what's comfortable for y'all?
What do you mean?
Well, I haven't been in a
can-
relationship in almost 9 years, so single is comfortable for me.
You mean no? What? I don't understand your question though. What do you mean?
He said
about comfortable?
people go back to what's comfortable, right? Like he been single, that's comfortable for him. What's comfortable for you?
Well, I haven't been in a situation where I've
So singleness?
gone back, but yeah, at this point, singleness
Yeah.
would be. I mean,
What about you?
Peace and self-rejection.
really?
Yeah,
Just
self-rejection.
comfortable.
Yep.
Really?
I'm mad at y'all. I told y'all that.
Why are you mad at us?
Y'all know why,
Don't do it
bro.
all over again.
Y'all know why.
If you start it up, we're gonna go there. So
Yeah.
let's not bring it there.
Yeah.
Let's not bring it there because you know I'm ready to go.
I'm
loaded
scared.
and ready to shoot.
All right.
Shoot then.
But no, you don't want to keep bringing it up.
Everybody's
Shoot.
been rejected and
Everybody's been
self-rejected. Yes,
So-
beloved. We're moving on.
There you go, Carlos. Ayana.
We're moving on. Okay, so Carlos, we're moving on. What were you saying?
Oh no, I was agreeing with you about the comfortable part, and I think, like you said too, I think a lot of times the familiar devil is easier to deal with than the unfamiliar one, because in a relationship, if you're really trying to get in a new relationship, that's a lot of work. I mean, it's like a job because you're trying to get to know this person, and you're trying to gauge what's comfortable for you to say and not say, and do and not do. So that's a lot of work. So sometimes I think a lot of people feel, or they entertain actions from an ex because it's just more comfortable.
But you know, and this just hit me just now too, is that we love when our exes come back.
I know I do.
We love.
It's validation.
And yes, validation.
Validate
It's
me,
validate,
baby.
and it definitely validates you if they're with someone else, and they trying to holler at you.
What?
Yeah,
They're trying to
yeah.
holler at you, and they with someone else. But the reality of it is,
The door
they're not
shut.
leaving whoever they're with to be back with you.
I agree.
Yeah.
So at that point, you're nothing but some ass or some dick.
Oh,
One of the two.
again.
One of the two. So they can holler at you all they want. Huh?
I think he's horny.
No, I ain't horny. We just calling the truth. We just calling it for what it is. It's either some ass, you either ass or you either dick. One of the two.
He's horny.
You is
Me so
one
horny.
of the two. No,
Me so horny.
no, me so horny. But do you agree? If they with somebody
Yeah,
else
yeah,
and
I
they
agree.
trying to
Yeah, I
holler
agree.
at you, what
That's
are you?
probably what it is. Yeah.
You a hookup.
75%. I agree to that. About 75%.
What is the 25?
Yeah, what's the 25? If they're with someone,
It can
Yeah.
be everything else. So what if the person they with is providing that good intimacy, physical intimacy, but that person that they're with is lacking some?
but they not leaving the person that they're with.
Yeah,
I
they're
agree
still
with that.
them. Yeah.
I agree, but I feel like
And they're just using you at
75% of
that
that is physical intimacy is true. I agree.
But let's say, for instance, it's not physical intimacy. Let's say, for instance, that sex is good with the new person.
Yeah.
Sex
yeah,
is
yeah.
good with the new person, and they still trying to holler at you. They're still not leaving that person for you.
I agree with you.
So don't be
Uncle.
flattered. But most times we're flattered by that.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't be flattered, man?
Why?
Yes.
Because they don't respect you. They're not looking at you in no good light.
What, like they looking at me?
As a hookup or somebody that can fulfill a temporary need. Because at the end of the day, they going back home to the other person.
And
not you.
And that's fine. But
that ain't fine.
If you had
that ain't fine.
It is. Let me tell you why. It's fine because if you had that understanding that they going back home to whomever, hey,
but you don't have that understanding. And how I know you don't have that understanding is because them trying to holler at you validates you. So you don't have that. And people don't get that. They get so caught up in the fact that this person is trying to holler at me and they going home with somebody else. You still not enough for them to leave that other person.
That person is rejecting them, right?
Who?
They being rejected.
No, they're not being rejected. They're being used.
Okay. I think they being rejected.
Okay.
In the sense that if a person is only good enough for something, they're rejecting everything else you got to offer. But hey, it is what it is.
But they're not. They can't reject something that's not on the table.
Yeah, if
they're going
it's a
back
play on words.
But you have to get on the table and allow them to only have a portion of you.
I see what you're saying, but I feel like it's a play on words because it's only rejection if you're putting it out with the intent for the other person to receive it. So if that's not your intent, then you can't be rejected.
But if the person they're broken up, right?
They're broken up,
and this person
that's the only thing we agree with. They're broken up.
Yeah, like me and you about to be. I'm on the market for a new uncle.
Good. I got plenty other nephews.
Call him. I'm on the market.
Jalen, you on the podcast now. You'll be on here the next seat. All right, Unc.
Let's go. He gonna be asking for a new one too. You hell to deal with, man. Well, look. So they rejected and what have you, and all of a sudden, this person comes back and he or she is trying to get back with the other person. So as they're trying to get back and what have you, if they only want a piece of that person, a piece, and this person is saying, no, you got to take all of me. But the person who wants to get back together only wants a piece because they got somebody else who's fulfilling the. So it's basically the 80-20. So basically you got somebody with the 80, right, who's fulfilling 80% of you. Then you got this person with the 20 that you want, right?
Who is the X?
The X is the 20.
It's the 20, yeah.
Basically, you're rejecting this other person 80, but the person that's the 20 is saying either take all of me or take nothing.
So does the X know that they're with someone new?
The X will know.
But do they know?
Yeah, they know.
They have to know. They have to know.
Well, you're a 0.
Okay.
You ain't even 20 because if you're entertaining them and you know that they're with someone else, they have no respect for you. They're only out to get and serve their own needs. They don't give a damn about you. They with somebody. If they cared about you and really genuinely loved or whatever the case may be, they wouldn't even come to you in that manner. It's called respect.
Man, you gonna make somebody cry.
I ain't gonna make nobody cry.
With your truth, you are.
No, I hope make them get up and stop fucking somebody else's man or woman.
I knew that was coming. Uh-oh.
He's horny. That's the 5th time he's talked about that.
I ain't talked about it in for me. But like I said, we get so caught up sometimes in the ideal that this person is back trying to holler at us that we don't look at the reality of the situation.
What if it's multiple people trying to come back?
To the same person?
Yes.
You're a whore.
Right.
Multiple people at the same time?
You entertaining all these folks?
What if multiple people trying to like come through like, yo, you got one on the text, one on the phone, 3 in the DM, 1 at the door, like Hey,
I
we
ain't never
miss
had
you.
nothing
You're a
like that.
whore because you're
Not
entertaining
hey, we
these
miss
people.
They all they want say all.
all they
They
want.
like, hey, what's up? We here.
Kendrick, are you posting dick pics on IG or something?
What are you doing?
No, man, it's not me.
Are you asking for a friend?
Right.
Jay.
Oh, whoa. We're sorry. Oh my God.
I love you, bro.
Wow.
I love you, man. I love you, Jay. I love you, bro.
Wow.
That's my boy, man. But no, seriously, no, I was just asking. I was just curious to
I
get
ain't never
y'all.
been in no situation where
Multiple people tried to holler in the DM.
I don't have that
Come
many
back?
exes.
Yeah, I mean, because
Yeah,
how would
not
that
no
happen?
serious relationships.
know.
I mean, I don't have that many.
You must have posted on the thing, I'm single.
Yeah, something.
I don't know. But you know it's cuffing season though.
Well, true, but that's a big coincidence
It's
for all of them.
cuffing season. Everybody trying to get cuffed. And maybe that person got what they need during cuffing season.
But
baby.
you know what? To that point, I think some people they'll try to use that as an excuse to fall back in a relationship with an ex. They'll say some dumb stuff like that. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, it's cuffing season, so that's why I fell for it." No, you just fell for it because you would have fell for it and
You didn't fall
Hot
for
girl
it.
summer
You
and all
just
that.
went back.
Right.
You wanted.
well, true. Yeah, too.
You horny?
Yeah.
But you know, like, so
Yeah.
get back to the question too, because the question was, why do exes come back pretty much once you have moved on and you're at peace? And you have to ask yourself, what is the cost? What is your peace worth?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is dealing with your ex, is that willing? Is that a price you're willing to pay for your peace? You know, because your ex can come back and try to holler at you all they want, but that doesn't mean that you have to entertain them. It don't mean you have to answer them. And evidently, in order to know that they're trying to holler at you, you're entertaining them. You're having a conversation with them. So through your interactions, you're letting them know, I'm not done with you. Because how would you know if they just sent you a DM and said, hey,
You have to, I agree. You have to have a conversation to know what their objective
Or it's
is.
entertaining
You know what I'm
some-
saying?
and that's how
You
they
gotta
see the
know.
crack, right?
Yeah, the door's cracked.
The door is cracked.
And the sad part is, a lot of us have the door cracked. We do. We got the jaw cracked. We got some cracked. Our ass cracked. Some is showing that they
Oh.
see the crack.
Oh,
so
the
they come
ass
through.
crack. Whoa.
You looking like that?
Goodness. Wow.
Why you looking like
Y'all
that?
better get some weather seal, people.
Hopefully
And-
it's not just open and waiting, like whenever you want to come back. That's just kind of.
Most doors are.
Yeah, most doors are open, man.
Most
They're
doors
cracked.
are open.
I'm
Most
talking
doors
about
are
hoping
cracked.
their ass ain't cracked like that.
They need to wear a belt or something so they don't show. We're gonna help you to seal up those cracks, a belt, a deadbolt, get some, protect those cracks. Cause hey, these people like roaches, man. They're gonna find their way in there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they like rats with no bones. They're gonna get rats don't got bones. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
Hey man, trip me out. I had to learn that. Yeah.
They are going to find,
Yeah,
they're
wait.
looking for that entry.
Your weakness.
Their weakness to get in. And if you present it by entertaining them, whether it's in DM, text message, whatever the case may be, having a conversation with a friend that know them, because that's another way. We may not answer text,
that's
but
true.
we'll call one of their
find out
homegirls,
what they doing.
homeboys. We're like, yeah, they text me. Why they text me when we know they're going to go back and tell them? You giving
Yeah.
energy to somebody that does not deserve it. So if you moved on, be free of your ex and don't give them that opportunity to come back.
But even if you haven't moved on, don't lie to yourself.
True.
Like don't
Yeah,
if you really haven't moved on, like be honest with yourself. It's not gonna hurt to have a conversation with an ex and you guys try to work things out. If that's genuinely what you want, I think a lot of times we lie to ourselves and say, yeah, I don't want to be with you, but deep down inside we actually want to be with that person. Be true to you. If you want to be with that person and that person is coming, knocking at the door, trying to get at you, I think so many times we try to slam the door because what our friends are gonna say, or our family members and what have you. Man, we give so much thought and so much credit to people that don't even walk in our shoes.
That's true.
We give too much credit to people that don't even pay a bill, too much credit to people that don't do crap for us, but yet their opinion outweighs our very own thought. And it's sad. Man, if you want to be with whomever likes you and you're at peace and you're not really at peace, but you got some resemblance of peace, but
right.
yet you're hurting still because you're longing for that person, go be with that person, man. Like Brahmin Knight said, it's been 6 months, 8 days, and 12 hours since you went away.
Now,
Go
I
get them.
disagree with you on that. Don't go be with that person.
Why?
And not just because you
Yeah,
feel
don't go be with that
If
person.
they
If that person is
really
hurting
want that
you,
person-
no,
not if
no.
they're hurting. I said if they hurting.
And I'm not
inside
talking
because
about
they wanna be
physically
with
hurting.
them.
No, you don't.
If you're
it all
longing for a
depends
person-
on what. I don't care.
If your heart's longing for a person,
Don't listen to your heart.
Yeah, sometimes
That's
you
the
do have
greatest battle in our
you don't
being.
listen to your heart.
to.
When it
Yeah,
comes
of
to
course.
love.
I do, but
And that's why
I-
you always get screwed.
but
So what do you
just-
listen to if you
You
don't
listen to your head,
Yeah,
not your heart.
Okay, so if
Your heart is guided by emotions,
Okay, so-
which is going to put you on a roller coaster.
He learned that
Your
in high
head-
school.
No, I didn't. Your head is more than likely guided by the right thing to do. The conscience is telling you. That's why the battle is between your mind and your heart.
Okay.
Your heart feels. Your head thinks. Your
So-
heart feels.
So listen to your head. If your head is longing for that person, go be with that person.
No, your head ain't gonna be longing. Your head more than likely is telling you to run.
But if mentally their mind's not telling them to run, they shouldn't be with
I
that
mean, it
person.
could work
Well, if,
depending on the
their
situation.
if their
but-
mind is not telling them to run from that person and their heart is telling them to run to that person, just follow it because
That's all I'm saying.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
you're
And
gonna,
I mean,
but
I
not
think-
if it's a bad situation.
Bad situation.
Yeah, no.
don't
And I'm
go.
not
don't
talking
go.
about
Agree.
physically
I agree.
abusive though. I'm not even
but
talking
just-
about that.
yeah.
Sometimes,
Emotionally abusive or
or just the relationship is no good.
yeah. I agree.
Sometimes you have to get out of it because it seems harder to get out of a relationship. If people understand, it's harder to stay in that relationship that is no good for you. It's easier to walk away. That pain is going to subside. You're going to move through it. You're going to walk. But as long as you stay in it, you're going to feel it every day. You're never going to get out of it. You need to get out of it.
I think you brought up a good point too when you were talking about the people's opinions,
Yeah.
because I think the thing that people one thing I've realized, especially when I got a divorce, was everybody is somebody's fool. So it's easy for somebody to say, "Oh, I wouldn't have put up with that, or what you did," or everybody is so quick to say what they will and won't do. But then I could look at your situation and say, "Ain't no way in hell I'll put up with that." So it just depends on the person because we all have different tolerance points, and it's to each his own. Like I said, everybody is somebody's fool at some point.
So have y'all ever went back?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Too many
I mean,
times.
not after a long. It's been like a little short break and then get back, but not from a period where it's been like longer than a year. And then no.
And that's why I say, I've gone back, and I know the detriment of going back. That's why I say, move forward. Move forward. Comfortable is not always good. Uncomfortable brings growth. That's when we grow. That's when we see exactly how strong we are. When you're going back into situations just because that's what you used to, that's what you know, you're always going to end up in a mess. So let your ex go and keep moving forward.
Yep. Damn.
He looked like you got mad when I asked that about going back. You got
No, I don't have a problem with that. I've done it. That's why I know not to do it now.
What was the worst time you went back?
Every time.
Every time.
Every
Dang.
time.
It was that bad?
It wasn't that it was always bad. It's just that now when you look back on it, you just realize that it wasn't worth it. Because shit didn't get better. It ended exactly like you knew it was going to end the first time. I mean, we already know. The first time we leave, we know when shit ain't going to work out. But we keep on, like what one person said this week in the conversation on the thing, we give people the benefit of the doubt. No. Give yourself the benefit by not doubting what you know is true. You know that relationship is no good. So get the hell out of it.
Yeah.
I agree.
And if you do go back, don't beat yourself up if it
But going
fails.
back.
Yeah. But because I think that's something a lot of people do too. They go back and then it fails, and then they go through this cycle of I'm stupid, I'm worthless.
Own that
all
fucked
this-
up relationship.
Yeah, right.
Going
You
back,
just
own it.
yeah.
I'm in some fucked up shit, but I'm owning it.
Whoa.
Make the best of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. Make the best
Yeah.
of it. Because all your friends that's up here talking about, oh, girl, you shouldn't go back to them. You shouldn't do this here. Half of them, they dudes are doing stuff that you wouldn't tolerate.
Or they trying to get with the one they telling you not to go back to.
Exactly.
Oh,
Carlos?
So look,
wait a s-
listen. I don't know what y'all be doing to our listeners, but if y'all not following us on Instagram, man, y'all
Yes,
missing the
follow
treat.
now.
Listen, we be having a blast, man, and it's crazy, but the conversation, the comments, man, say, if y'all want to interact with us, is hit us up on IG. You know, we post stuff daily and what have you. And this question came from one of our Instagram followers, and I hope she don't go back, or him or her, or whoever posed the question. I hope they not dealing with this situation, and if they are,
Or how about you and your ex listen to the podcast together?
for real.
Oh, right. True. Let me send you this link.
Y'all listen to it together.
Hey, the link be in the bio, yo.
Yeah,
Yo, show
check
us
it
some
out.
love, man. You know, come through. But yeah, so I've been back, man. I went back. Yeah, I went back. And the only reason I went back was to pick up a shoe.
A shoe.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened when you? I'm guessing more than just the shoe pickup happened.
That was it. Just picked up the shoe and left.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, man, you go back, man, you find out that the BS wasn't even worth it, man. For real, man. And then you know what be crazy though? The first breakup be cool, you know, I could deal with it. But that second breakup, oh man. I knew I should never deal with your mama again, you stupid mama.
Oh.
It wasn't just me either. You wanted me to come back too. Yeah, that's everything magnifies the second,
Yeah, and I
third,
think
and
that's
fourth
why
time around.
I've never really done it because my fear is to get to a point where you blow up and then you can't really salvage anything from it. Like relationship, friendship, everything is just gone. So yeah, that's the danger I think sometimes in going back.
Yeah. And in order for somebody to come back, that means they walk back to the place they left you, which means more than likely you're still where they left you and you haven't moved forward yourself. So, yeah, you've been left behind.
And then, like, you have to think of how pathetic that is. For a person to walk off and you not even attempt to move forward, and then they come back in your life and you're still at that same point. That's depressing to me. Like, have I done it? Yeah, but
Yeah.
hindsight's 20/20. You know, I wish I wouldn't have done it. It's sad, man. I may cry tomorrow.
Not now, but tomorrow.
Yeah, me and my self-rejection.
Okay, Carlos, we done?
Yeah, I think we're done. Oh, but before we leave, I want to shout out 3 people that have been really active with the Instagram channel. I am not going to say your Instagram names because I'm probably going to jack them up. But if I say your first name, you know who you are. So, LaMonica, Ali, and Michelle.
We appreciate y'all. We really
Yes,
do.
we do, for real. Thanks for everybody interacting and enjoying the show. And any final words on going back, not going back?
We love
Getting
y'all.
rid of those ghosts?
We love y'all. We do. I'm gonna pray for y'all tonight, tomorrow probably.
You're going to pray for tonight, tomorrow. Which one is it? Is both?
One day.
Oh, now it's one day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just pray for yourselves. Sheesh. All right.
All right,
That's a
deuce.
wrap.